ending up places like this. That's sometimes way less frustrating than it seems at first, because even though I did want to be on the interstate for most of the trip, this wrong turn ends up leading me to places like that I wasn't planning on visiting, and I'm okay with visiting. Because deep down, even though I'm trying to be an efficient engineer type, the moment I turn down a path that's not the most efficient, the most straightforward, the interstate routes, the slower routes, the moment I turn down those routes, I become the photographer. I just start looking around and going, how could I have missed this, And that's so many towns, especially in the mountains, where you just turn and, there's some things that you can tell, like, had their time, but maybe kind of fell through. Maybe like when the interstates happened, this is the point of the rant, I think. Sometimes I find it, like, after interstates were built, some of these towns that used to have, markets and even some little gas stations and convenience stores and all kinds of little industries, local industries, fell through because everybody starts using the interstates instead of these little roads, and they don't stop for gas in these little towns. They just don't stop to eat. They're going to McDonald's and all these fast food restaurants and stuff. And what they don't realize is they're kind of missing out on some scenery here too, which I might have just missed out on because I'm ranting a little bit. But there was a video I just had, the video that I got distracted by, where I was talking about practicing some things. Well, I was talking about practicing my ability to have long monologues and to speak for long periods of time in ways that make sense to more people than just me. But I'm also trying to practice talking and navigating because damn, I made like a crazy wrong turn to get this way. Like, the moment, like, I should have stopped, but I'm actually gonna try to do this. This is probably not a good place to pull off 100%. There's this creek down there. It's not a good place to pull off. I should keep going. Technically, I'm on the wrong side of the road to be pulling off like this. But I think there's some scenic parking lots where I could actually pull off and continue to explore this. I think it's called Beaver Creek. Honestly, I have no idea where I am. I guess the intersection of 701 and 57. Definitely going west of 57, but I wanted to see the creek, so bummer, I guess. I'm not just gonna go over the bridge for that. Oh my goodness. The only thing about little towns like this is that I really want to stop, but then when there's somebody behind me, I just seem like a tourist, and I totally am, and I can imagine somebody going through and just trying to get to work or something. Well, it's the middle of the day, but like, somebody kind of wondering what the hell I'm doing, just kind of driving around, and I don't want to be that guy that's like taking pictures of old things and making a big deal about it, because I could see how, like, if I lived in some older town and I saw some things maybe like not good signs, like old buildings that are not being used anymore, old farms, and somebody like me pulls up, like, whoa, like that's so authentic. You know? The whole idea of like the authentic, the antique, the historical, it's fascinating to people who haven't been around it, but then people have been around it and then see people who are fascinated by it. I imagine that is maybe off-putting to some. So I don't know if that's just me, but I always just try to downplay it. I never dress up on road trips, you know. I look like I'm gonna do what I'm about to do, which is go camping. So when I go through these towns, you know, if I do get out and start taking photos, I try to make it less obvious that I'm trying to post videos on YouTube or whatever. I'm just kind of exploring. So right now, what's really cool about having very, very distant goals, like I'm driving to Michigan right now and I'm in Virginia, so like I just keep making decisions that are like, all right, west and north and west, and just, you know, it'll probably work out eventually.